Welcome to Unlock Layouts. In this video, we are going to discuss FinFET DRM file and as well as FinFET design process and lithography processing steps. So let's start the video. In this lecture, today we are going to discuss how the foundries are going to fabricate the IC with step-by-step procedure and what is the major and important information that we will get it from the DRM file. So this document, whatever I am showing to you, so this all the contents are taken from the DRM file. DRM is nothing but a design role manual. So in the DRM file we are just going to read, so what are all the important information we have to read before going to the layout. So let me start. So now we are going to discuss about the FinFET fabrication based DRM file. So this is completely 16 nanometer FinFET DRM. So just what we have to see here about the device parameters. So in 16 nanometer FinFET, so we have a standard VT device and low VT device and as well as intermediate low VT device and ultra low VT device. So these are all the voltage rating. So 0.8 is the lowest voltage rating for all these devices. For example, standard VT, low VT, intermediate VT and as well as ultra low VT. All these devices will work, the lowest voltage as possible is 0.8 voltage. So next we will move to the next slide. So in this slide we are going to discuss power supply and as well as operating temperatures of the devices. So we have a core device. So generally core devices will be thin oxide devices, and then we have a IO device. IO devices will be thick oxide device, and then we have 1.8 volt to 1.5 voltage underdrive devices are there. So first we will look into the core devices. Always will be a lowest voltage rating as possible based on the foundry, and the lowest voltage will be completely depends on the foundry, but generally the core device will be thin oxide device. If it is a thin oxide device, by default the operating voltage of the thin oxide device will be very low. So here the thin oxide FinFET device is handling only 0.8 volt, and then the maximum power supply of the core and thin oxide device is 1.5. So this device should work 0.8 voltage to 1.05 volt. If it is exceeding 1.5 volt, then there may be a oxide damage with respect to the core voltage, with respect to the core device. And then we have to discuss about IO device. Then there is a IO devices are there. IO device is always called a thick oxide device. So thick oxide device will be working from 1.8 volt to 1.98 volt. So there is no much difference here. The normal operating power supply is 1.8, but the maximum power supply is 1.98. So if you ask me the question why the core devices having the lowest voltage rating and why the IO devices are having the highest voltage rating, so if you get this question from your side, then the answer is, see, with respect to the power consumption point of view, always the core devices should be working in the as lower as possible, because the power consumption is completely depends on the operating voltage. If you have a lower operating voltage, then the power consumption of IC will be very low, so that the battery operated devices will be work as long as possible. But when you come to IO devices will be purely based on the noise margin perspective. So when you come to the noise margin perspective, always the voltage should be higher voltage, because the noise margin should be always high. If it is low, then there may be a switching problem. It may happen from high to low, switching problems may happen with respect to the noise margin perspective. So if the designers are fabricating the device, or if the foundries are fabricating any device, always the IO device will be thick oxide device. The thick oxide device will be always working as higher as possible voltage. So 1.8 is the maximum voltage in this foundry device. So 1.8 is the maximum voltage device, so that's why they are operating the thick oxide devices in 1.8, and then the core devices will be operating as lower as possible. So 0.8 is the lowest voltage as possible in the FinFET technology. So they are trying to operate the device core devices with 0.8 voltage. So then these operating voltage purely depends on certain temperatures. So this is minus 40 to positive 120 degree centigrades. Okay, so minus 40 is the lowest possible temperature and 125 is the highest junction temperature. So in between this minus 40 to 125 degree temperature is the operating temperature of this core and IO voltage devices, and as well as we have a 1.8 volt underdrive device and 1.8 volt underdrive to 1.2. So these are all some special devices. So underdrive device, in the sense these are all some special devices where there is a need, based on the need they can use the underdrive devices. Then we'll go to the next slide. So in this slide, so this is the fabrication step-by-step procedure for the cross-sectional view of the FinFET or any kind of MOSFET or planar devices. So generally OD is our base level layer. So most of the people know OD is our base level layer. So whatever you are seeing here, the light or darkish blue color, the trench, so this is nothing but STI. Okay, and right side and left side we have some multiple values are there. For example, M1 0.32 per 0.32. Even I am not very sure about what kind of value is there. Maybe the LNW value of the metal, it will be there, it might be there, but I am not very sure about that. But this is the fabrication process of the any planar MOSFET or FinFET device. So generally OD will be fabricated, then STA will be fabricated. After fabricating the OD, wherever there is empty spaces between OD to OD, then everywhere there will be STA. Then on top of that we have a poly layer. So on top of the poly layer we have M0 to poly layer. So by default when you go to the normal planar MOSFET, so you don't see these layers. For example, M0 to PO and M0 to OD and then V0. So we don't see these layers in the planar MOSFET, because planar MOSFET from the beginning only, so we will get M1 metal. But when you come to the FinFET device, so these MO to PO and MO to OD and VO device, so this is the base level layers. So this is nothing but the basic contact. VO is nothing but the base level contact, so which can create the contact between OD to M1. Same we have a one more VO is there here. So this VO is nothing but which can create the contact between poly to M1. So VO is the base level contact. From the base level contact, so we are fabricating via. So V is nothing but via. V1 is nothing but the M1 to M2 via. So as of now, this is the fabrication process of the base level layer of FinFET and as well as the fabrication process of planar MOSFET. And then if you have any doubts here, I have uploaded one more 3D video and 3D representation of cross-sectional view of the fabrication process of MOSFET. So you can just look into that video. So if you have any doubts, you just look in that video. Okay, so I have clearly explained in that. So up to M9 the fabrication foundry is going to fabricate, but here maximum M13 metals are available, but you know most of the people don't use up to M13 until unless if it is necessary. So now the maximum metal level layer is M9, that is our top metal. Okay, so step by step all the metals are going to fabricate in this way. And then the second important thing what we have to discuss here is the layer wise explanation with respect to the FinFET. So in this tabular column they have clearly given what is the mask name, so how many masks are needed and what kind of process they are using and what is the sequence of the process, and as well as what is the CAD layer for the 16 nanometer FinFET. And then so initially we'll come to the fabricational process. Initially any process, even if it is a planar or even if it is a FinFET, OD is the base layer. So the OD is the base layer. So this is called the thin oxide for the device. So it depends on the thin or thick. So if you want to go for the core device, it will be thin. If you are fabricating the same OD for the IO devices, then that will be a thick oxide device. So OD is the base layer. After fabricating the OD, so OD is required initial mask. So this is the first mask, and then the second mask will be CPOD. So CPOD is nothing but cut fin process. So because in FinFET fabricational process, fins are continuous. Okay, so fins will be continuously fabricated. Wherever you need to remove the fins or wherever you need to disconnect the fins from device to device, then you have to use this cut layer of fin. So that is called the CPOD. And then we have one more COD_H. So this is for FinFET patterning. So this is for high voltage and this is for low voltage. So high, nothing but this is just like a FinFET patterning devices. CODH and CODV, and then OD_P, this is for some OD process. And after fabricating all these steps up to the fifth mask is just a OD process. After that, initially they are fabricating deep and well layer. So most of the people are asking the questions with respect to deep and well. So whether deep and well will be fabricated on which level? So whether it will be fabricated in the initial level or top level, and what level is the fabrication step of deep and well? So here the answer is the next step is the deep and well fabrication. So after fabricating the OD, if it is a planar MOSFET, after fabricating the OD, the next step is initially deep and well, because in planar we don't have CPOD, we don't have double patterning, and we don't have nothing. So after fabricating the OD, the next step, initial step is deep and well. In between these two devices, so we have STI. So after fabricating OD, if you are doing STI process, the next step is STI. STI is nothing but silicon trench isolation. So after fabricating STI, the next step is deep and well. So deep and well is the third step for planar. But when you come to FinFET, deep and well is the sixth mask. So this is the sixth step. Then after that we have a P well 1 volt, and this is for core voltage. So these layers are nothing but the implantation layers. So if you want to convert 1 voltage device or 2 voltage device, so then these implantations are needed. For example, if you want to convert 1 voltage device, then you have to implant a PW1V. If you want to PW2, if you are implanting this PW2V, then the device will be operated voltage will be 2 volt. So for example, here 1.2 volt, 1.5 volt or 1.8 volt. So it depends on the device voltage, operating voltage. So these implantation layers are required. Then the same implantation layers are required for N well also, because we have a P well layer and we have a N well layer. So the layers are same with respect to PMOS and NMOS. And then we have the 11th step is called VTL_H. So this is like low voltage NMOS implantation. So here they have clearly given the explanations. Okay, here they have clearly given the explanation. The mask 11, so that is our 11th step. 11th step is used to do VTL_N. So this is for low voltage, low VT NMOS implantation. So as well, we have a multiple implantation and multiple optical masks are there to fabricate all the layers step by step. So almost just I will scroll down. So just look at to this. Okay, so if you want to do double patterning, so this is for double patterning for PO. If you want to do double patterning for poly, then the 17th step, that is called CPO. So CPO layer is used to do double poly patterning. So I don't know how they are practically using this CPO layer for double patterning, but if you are seeing any layer with the name of CPO, so this is used for double patterning purpose of poly. So PO is nothing but our poly. And then we have multiple base layers are there. So standard VT device. So step number 16 is the standard VT device. So if you are using standard VT PMOS, then these implantations is required. If not, then these implantations are not required. So this is completely based on PMOS and NMOS. And then just I will scroll down. So here we have a OD2 layer. So OD2 layer will be fabricated on 31st step. So just imagine how many steps are there. So initially we have started with OD. Okay, OD is the initial step, that is the initial mask. So that is our lithography process. So initial lithography is used to fabricate the OD. That's the first initial step. When you want to fabricate OD2, then you have to come 31st step. So you need 31 processing step to fabricate OD2. But you know, like these 31 process is not mandatory for all the fabricational devices. So there may be a skips will be there. So there may be they don't use all the 31 layers to fabricate OD. So until unless if it is necessary, then these all the layers will be fabricated, but OD2 will be fabricated at the step of 31. So OD2 in the sense nothing but, so these are all the extra implantation with respect to OD. So for example, if you want to convert the OD to 1.5 or 1.2, 1.8 or thick gate oxide or DGO process, if you want to add one more layer to OD, so one more layer is nothing but implantation layer. So the OD2 will be fabricated if it is needed. Then we have a PMET. So PMET is nothing but polymetallization layer. So this is like P plus metal. So you know, most of the people is aware of this. PMOS will be always slower than NMOS because the mobility carriers of PMOS is not fast as NMOS. So if you want to match PMOS with NMOS with respect to the mobility speed, then we need a one more implantation that is called PMET. So that is nothing but polymetallization layer, and then step by step until the 36th step they are just fabricating the base level layers. So this is like our base level layer, end of our base level layers. For example, M0 to PO. So M0 to PO is nothing but the base level layer of poly to M0 contact, as we discussed above in the previous slide. So V0 is the base level via. So that is nothing but the via which can create contact between poly to M1. That is our V0. So that will be fabricated on 37th step. After this 37th step, they are fabricating metal. So almost, if you want to fabricate a single metal, this is a base level metal, that is M1. If you want to fabricate base level metal of M1, then you need 38 lithography process. So just imagine how difficult is their fabrication process. So 38 process is required to fabricate M1 metal, but it is not mandatory to fabricate. It is not mandatory you should follow all the 38 steps, but at the step of 38 M1 will be fabricated. So this you should understand. Then we will go to the further slides. So after fabrication of M1, so there is no implantation layer and there is no critical special layer. So and then we have M1 via, and then directly we are going to fabricate M2, and then M2 to M3 via, and M3 to M4 via. So on we are going to fabricate all the metals up to the metal what we have. So right now we have a metal 13 here. So that's why we have a 30. That's why we are ending our metal fabrication of we have the maximum metal right now, the availability of in this PDK is 13. So the 62nd step is fabrication of M13 metal. So after fabrication of M13 metal, they are fabricating two different metals. One is called CTM and one is called CBM. So these two layers are used for capacitor usage. So this layer is used for capacitor top metals, and this one more letter CBM is used for capacitor bottom metal. So if you want to fabricate any capacitors with respect to base level layers M1 to M5 or M1 to the top metal M13, then the CTM and CBM will be used. Okay, so if it is needed, then they will fabricate. After fabrication of the 64th step, so there are certain extra steps are there. M13 is the topmost metal, but after fabricating this M13 metal, so we have a top metal. So top metal is nothing but which can provide the connectivity between the bond pad to the IC. So that is nothing but our AP metal. So AP metal, most of the people will use AP metal only. The AP metal is the top metal. So this, by using this AP metal only, they will distribute the power and ground and whatever the signals are there which is getting from the bond pad or whatever. Okay, so bump pad. So if you are using bond pad or bump pad or ESD pads, whatever the pads, AP metal is the metal which is driving the signals from the bond pad to the internal circuitry. So the 66th step is AP metal fabrication. And then we have multiple fabrication methods are there. So up to 69 lithographies are there. So that is nothing but the UBM, that is under bump layer. Okay, this will be used for full chip, not for the base level layers. So we have 69 lithography process are there. So just imagine if you are fabricating any IC, for example Qualcomm's are fabricating 865 or 865 plus, if it is a 16 nanometer process or if it is a 7 nanometer process, just imagine if you want to fabricate any IC or if the industries are fabricating any IC, then they need 69 lithography process. So each and every process are lithography process. So each and every lithography process are included to the cost. Okay, if you are using number of lithography is as lower as possible, then the chip cost will be as low. If you are using highest level of the photolithography process, then the cost of the IC will be very high. So in this part, all the fabricational foundries are trying to reduce the step lithography. Okay, all the industries are trying to reduce the number of lithography process, because lithography will almost consume 30% of the fabrication cost. So that's why they need to reduce the lithography. Okay, they need to reduce the number of lithography steps, as we discussed in the previous tabular column. So we have multiple number of fabricational steps, but here this is the truth table, which will exactly tell how many fabrication steps are needed to fabricate the particular device. So for example, here we have a NMOS. So NMOS is going to operate with voltage of 0.8. okay, so this is just a NMOS. The SPICE name, so because the devices are having the particular specific name, right? So this NMOS is called N channel MOSFET SVT MAC. So this is the SPICE name. So if the fabricational foundry want to fabricate this N channel MOSFET, then they need the steps and design levels with respect to the truth table. So if it is 1, then the lithography process is compulsory. If it is 0, then the lithography process is not compulsory. Okay, if it not compulsory in the sense it doesn't require for the fabricational step. For example, if they want to fabricate NMOS 0.8 volt, just come to the deep NVL layer. So deep NVL layer is not mandatory until unless if the designer is added deep NVL ring for the particular this NMOS, this N channel MOSFET. So that's why they have mentioned this as a star. Okay, this is completely depends on the layout engineer. If it is required, then we have to add. If not, then this won't be there. And then the fin boundary will be mandatory lithography process. So this is the fin boundary is the mandatory lithography. So for example, this is the first lithography. The second lithography process is fabricating the OD, because without ODs we cannot fabricate any device. So that's why the second lithography process is OD fabrication. And then NVL is not mandatory for NMOS, because NMOS will be laid under the P substrate. So NVL is not needed. And then NT_N, so this layer is also not needed. And then OD_18 is also not mandatory. And then poly is mandatory, because without poly we cannot fabricate any device, even if it is NMOS or PMOS. So poly layer is mandatory. So this is our third lithography step. Then whatever here it's there like VT UL_N or P, and we have multiple layers are there. So these many layers are not required for this. And then they need VTSHN, because this is a standard VT device. So that's why they are implanting the implantation layer of standard VT. So this is nothing but the standard VT implantation layer. So this process is mandatory. So this is our fourth process. Then after completion of our fourth lithography, the next step is N+. So N+ is nothing but, since it is a NMOS, the channel will be N+, source and drain has to be there with N+ implantation. So N+ implantation is the fifth implantation level. So after adding this N+ implantation level, the base level layers will be completely fabricated. So after that they has to fabricate M0 via, so that we know that's our base level via, or else M0 to OD, because we have seen so many fabricational vias in the previous slides, right? So from the base level layers are, once the base level layers are fabricated, then the foundry will fabricate M0 to M1 via. So from M1 to so on M2, M3, M4 they can fabricate. But if you want to fabricate this NMOS 0.8 voltage, you need 5 lithography steps. Hope you understand very clearly, because as we discussed in the earlier, poly will be fabricated in the 37th or 31st lithography step. But here whatever the lithography steps are there in between 1 to 31st, it is not mandatory to fabricate this N channel MOSFET, N channel SVT MAC. Okay, the first lithography is fin boundary, and the second lithography is OD, and the third step is poly. So they are directly skipping from the initial layer, that is our first lithography is our OD. From the first lithography step, they are directly skipping all the steps in between, whatever is there, their foundries are skipping. They are directly coming to the poly fabrication. So on, we have multiple devices here in the tabular column. So based on the device need, okay, so the lithography and the steps should be there. For example, just we'll go to the PMOSFET device. Okay, so we'll go to the intermediate low voltage device. So this is our intermediate device. In our previous slides we have discussed there are multiple types of devices available in FinFET. So just we'll discuss about this intermediate low VT PMOSFET device. If you want to fabricate, or else if foundry wants to fabricate this VT PMOSFET, which is 0.8, So they need fin boundary, they need OD, and they need N-well. Because this is a PMOS, compulsory we have to fabricate N-well. So the third step is N-well fabrication. And then the fourth and fifth steps are not mandatory, so which is not required for the intermediate low VT PMOS. And then the final step is poly. So the next step is poly. After fabricating the poly, they are directly fabricating VT ILP. So this is the intermediate. So ILP is nothing but VT is nothing but the threshold voltage. ILP is nothing but intermediate low. This is PMOS. So that's why they need to fabricate this P. So this VT ILP is nothing but VT of the intermediate low voltage PMOS implantation layer. So which is required for the intermediate level, which is here, which is located here. Then so on, whatever one is appeared here. So these are all the important or compulsory fabricational steps for to fabricate this P channel MOSFET. So on, we have multiple devices here. We have BJT device, we have resistors here. So this is nothing but the thin film resistor, or else we can call it as a high voltage resistor. See, resistors, no base layers are there here. Hope you can able to see everything is star star star. So star is nothing but until unless if the designer is needed, then the fabricational steps will be there. If not, then it won't be there, and directly they are coming to this level. So this is nothing but RHTN. RHTN, I don't know what is the exact operational functionality of this RHTN. Maybe they are using this RHTN layer for the high resistor implantation or doping purpose. Okay, then we have a N-well resistor. N-well resistor is fabricating under the STI. Okay, not on top of the STI. Under the STI, N-well is going to fabricate. Okay, so on, we have multiple devices here. So these are all the special devices like varactor diode, and then N-well P-well diode, and P plus and N plus diode. We have multiple devices. So thick oxide P minus gate diode, because diodes also most of the cases diodes also needed to design a circuit. So these are all the fabricational truth tables, lithography steps for the special devices. Okay, then we'll move to the next slide. So this slide will explain about the FM MOM. So MOM is nothing but metal oxide metal capacitor. If they want to fabricate this capacitor, then they need M1 to M9 metal. So this cap is nothing but M1 to M9. So this is stacked in between M1 to M9. So on, they have multiple types of caps are available. So based on the capacitor type, this fabricational lithography steps will be available. So this is nothing but the one which is highlighting here. So N channel SVT MAC device. So this is N channel MOSFET. SVT is nothing but standard VT device. So MAC is nothing but one kind of layer. So as they mentioned in this truth table, I think in this truth table the initial layer is fin boundary. So let me show you. So this is our fin layers. Okay, so whatever it is there here, so this is our fin layer. Okay, so this is our fin layer. Fin layer always should be in a boundary. Okay, so this is nothing but the fin boundary. So whatever you are seeing here, so this is our fin boundary. Okay, so within this fin layer, fins will be fabricated. Okay, but here the fins are not properly aligned with respect to the fin layer, so there are some little misalignments are there. Okay, so just leave about that. Because of this we may get DRC issues. Apart from that, nothing will be there. So this is nothing but the fin layer. Okay, so whatever the layers are here, so this is our fin layer. After fabrication of this fin, okay, so they need to fabricate OD. The second step is OD. So let me highlight. So this is our OD. Okay, OD is here. So this is our OD layer. So after fabrication of OD, what layer is there? See here, there is no second layer is there, because OD is the base level layer. Fin boundary is like a default. By default, all the devices should be within the fin boundary. Since it is a FinFET process, every device will be within the fin boundary. Okay, so leave about the fin boundary. The first step is OD. So that's why in our LSW window, hope you can able to see this. In our LSW window, the first layer is OD. After fabricating this OD, we don't have N-well, we don't have this NT_N, we don't have OD18. The next fabricational step is poly. So that's why the second step is poly. So the poly is fabricated with respect to the DFM foundry based document. After fabricating the poly, the next step is VTS_N. That is nothing but here. We have this layer, right? VT_N. So this layer is the third fabricational lithography step. After fabrication of this VT underscore VT standard device, then the next step is N plus. N plus is nothing but N implantation. So most people are aware of this. So this white color layer, whatever it is there, so this is our N implantation layer. After N implantation layer, we don't have any layers. So this is N plus. After that, we don't have any layers. See, in the first line, everything is 0 0 0. Okay, everything is 0. So as we discussed, I think I have already told you, once the base level fabrication is completed, the next step is like fabrication of MO2 OD. So MO2 OD is nothing but this is a kind of layer, see here, so where you need to disconnect the OD. So this is like MO2 OD layer. Okay, so I think we have discussed about this MO2 OD layer in the previous slide. So the next step is MO2 OD layer. After fabrication of this MO2 OD layer, we have a via. So I think vias are here. So these vias are fabricated. So these vias are like basic vias. So basic vias are nothing but which can give or which can create the connectivity between OD to metal 1. Okay, since our poly, we are not giving any connection between this poly, but from OD to M1 metal, there we need some vias. Okay, there may be a via is required. So that's why these via 0 will be fabricated on top of this OD. Okay, then we have a M1 metal. So M1 metal will be fabricated on top of this gate via. So if you want to connect any, if you want to give any connection to this OD, then this layer is needed. And then we have a IP layer. IP layer is nothing but the text level layer. And then we have a fin layer. See, this fin layer won't be visible because this is the fin layer. So these are all the fin layers. Okay, so then next to that we have a text layer. So text layer is the normal text layer because the source and drain terminal and then the GERD terminal and then the device parameters will be mentioned in the text terminal, the text layer. And then we have poly dummy. So this is our poly dummy. I think in 7 nanometer and 16 nanometer the layers are completely different. I have a 7 nanometer video also in our YouTube channel. If you want to know about 7 nanometer layers, you can watch that video. But you know, even in 28 nanometer the dummy polys will be used. So from 28 nanometer, so the dummy polys are they are fabricating this dummy poly. Okay, so we are getting 2 dummy polys here. So primary dummy poly and secondary dummy poly. Left and right we have 2 different dummy polys. And then we have a PDK layer. PDK layer is nothing but the text layer. And then we have a pod layer. See, I think pod layers are I think here. Hope you can able to see. If I'm enabling this, see, I think we have to clearly see this particular area. Let me maximize. I hope you can able to see pod layer. See, pod is highlighting here with respect to some violet color or okay, so some pinkish, some pink color layer is there here, that is pod. So pod is nothing but where you want to disconnect the fin, because these fins are completely fabricated in the continuous mode, right? So as we discussed, so these fins are fabricated in the continuously. So if you want to disconnect this fin, so we need to use this pod layer. So pod layer will be used to disconnect the fin. That's what we have discussed in the previous slide. Okay, this is our basic fabricational step with respect to the mask and lithography step for this particular N channel SVT MAC. So for example, if you check any device in this library, in this particular FinFET library, so based on this tabular column only, the fabrication process and the fabrication steps will be there. Okay, so hope I have given some valuable information to you with respect to the DRM file and as well as the foundry fabricational steps. I hope I have given some valuable information to you in this video. Thank you for watching my video. If you like this video, please click like button and share this video to your friends. For more details about this video, please contact us to my email ID and follow us on my Facebook page and Twitter page, and kindly subscribe our channel and don't forget to click the bell button.